Well, a very good morning, everybody. Today I am going to teach the topic relations and functions, which is the first and foremost lesson of second PUC mathematics. This is the first lesson that you are going to study. Dear children, in fact, before we jump onto the topic relations and functions, we shall be recapitulating what exactly we have studied in first PUC. We have already studied Cartesian product and a small definition as relation and function as well. Let me recapitulate what is Cartesian product. Cartesian product of sets given two non-empty sets A and B. The Cartesian product A into B is the set of all ordered pairs of elements from A and B. That is, A into B equals A comma B such that A belongs to A, B belongs to B. Example, let A equals 1, 2, 3. B equals 4, 5, 6. The Cartesian product A and B is given by A into B, which is equal to 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. Note, if either A or B is the null set, then A into B will also be an empty set. That is, A into B equals null set. Now, let us define what is meant by a relation. A relation R from a non-empty set A to a non-empty set B is a subset of the Cartesian product A into B. The subset is derived by describing a relationship between the first element and the second element of the ordered pairs in A into B. The second element is called the image of the first element. That is, in general, we define relation equals or equals A comma B such that A belongs to A, B belongs to B, A related to B is true. For example, let us consider a set A whose elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let us define a relation R from A to A by R equals x comma y such that y is equal to x plus 1. So, here the relation is defined from A to A. That means this x and y, both the elements should belong to the set A. So let us consider x is equal to 1. So y equals x plus 1 means y will be equal to 1 plus 1, 2, which definitely belongs to A. Even x also belongs to A. And let us consider x is equal to 2. We get 3. Y will be equal to 3, which belongs to A. And we consider x is equal to 3. Y is equal to 3 plus 1 to 4, which belongs to A. Similarly, when we take x is equal to 4, we will get y is equal to 5, which belongs to A. If we take x is equal to 5, we get y is equal to 6, definitely belongs to A. When x is equal to 6, which belongs to A, we will get y is equal to 7, which does not belong to A. Therefore, the relation will be nothing but the set of ordered pairs 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 4, 4 comma 5, 5 comma 6. Let us pass on to the second PUC topics, types of relations. What is meant by an empty relation? A relation R in a set A is called empty relation if no element of A is related to any element of A, that is R equals empty set, which is subset of A into A, which is a subset of A into A. Let us consider an example. Consider the relation R in the set A equals 2, 3, 5, which is given by the relation A comma B such that A square equals B, where A belongs to A and B belongs to A. Clearly, this is an empty relation. This is an empty relation as no pair A comma B satisfies the condition A square equals B. Here A equals 2, 3, 5. Here A equals 2, 3, 5. And what is the relation? The relation is nothing but A comma B such that A also should belong to A and B also should belong to A. A square is equal to B. A square is equal to B. So let A will be equal to 2. So A square, which is nothing but 4, which does not belong to A. Similarly, other elements also does not belong to A. Therefore, R is an empty relation. R is an empty relation. Let us consider another example. Let A equals 4, 6, 8, 20 and R equals A comma B such that A plus B is equal to 25, where A and B both belong to the set A. In this case also, the given relation is an empty as no pair A comma B satisfies the condition A plus B is equal to 25. Let us consider another example 3. Here the set is defined by 1, 2, 3, 4 and the relation is defined as A comma B such that A minus B is equal to 10. Here also this is an empty relation because as no pair A comma B satisfies the condition A minus B is equal to 10. Hence R is an empty relation. Next we shall discuss about what is meant by an universal relation. A relation R in a set A is called universal relation if each element of A is related to every element of A, that is, the relation will be equal to, that is R will be equal to A into A. Let us consider an example. The set is defined as 3, 5, 7 and the relation is defined by a comma b such that a minus b is less than 5 where a comma b belongs to a. So we have a equals 3, 5, 7. Let us find a into a. So you will get 3 comma 3, 3 comma 5, 3 comma 7, 5 comma 3, 5 comma 5, 5 comma 7 and 7 3, 7 comma 5 and 7 7. Here a into a is nothing but the relation R. That means all the ordered pairs satisfy the given relation a minus b less than 5. If you take the difference of these ordered pairs, all the ordered pairs difference will be R is less than 5. Hence, R is universal relation. Hence, R is universal relation. Let us consider another example. Let us consider the another example. A equals 1, 2, 3, 4 and the relation is defined as R equals A comma B such that modulus of A minus B is greater than or equal to 0, where A and B both belong to A. Here R is the whole set A into A as all ordered pairs A comma B in A into A satisfy the condition modulus of A minus B is greater than or equal to 0. Both the empty relation and universal relations are called trivial relations. Now let us pass on to the next relation, which is nothing but reflexive relation. A relation R on a set A is called reflexive if A comma A belongs to R for every A belongs to A. That is, A comma A belongs to R implies the image of the element, and the element are one and the same. The image of the element and the element are one and the same. That is, A is related to A. That is, A is related to A. Let us consider an example. Let A be the set of all triangles T1, T2, T3, etc. Let the relation be equal to similar. Let the relation be equal to similar. So we know that every triangle is similar to itself. We know that every triangle is similar to itself. Therefore, what we can say is the similar relation is reflexive. The similar relation is reflexive on set of triangles. On set of triangles A. Let us consider another example. Let us consider the set of lines L, L1, L2, L3. And let us consider the relation parallel. We know that every line is parallel to itself. Every line is parallel to itself. Therefore, what we can say about is that the relation parallel is reflexive on the set of lines L. On the set of lines L. Next, let us consider another example. Set of natural numbers. Let us consider the relation. Let us consider the relation less than. We know that every natural number cannot be less than itself. Cannot be less than itself. Therefore, what we can say about is the relation less than. The relation less than is not reflexive. Is not reflexive on the set of natural numbers. Next, we pass on to the another important relation, which is symmetric relation. A relation R on a set A is called symmetric. Is called symmetric if A1, A2 belongs to R, implies that A2, A1 belongs to R. For all A1, A2 belongs to A. I repeat once again, a relation R on a set A is called symmetric if A1, A2 belongs to R, implies that A2, A1 belongs to R. For all A1, A2 belongs to A. Here, A1, A2 belongs to R implies that A1 related to A2 should be true. Should be true. Should be true. Suppose A1 related to A2 is true, should imply A2 related to A1 is true. Then we say that the relation R is symmetric. That the relation R is symmetric on the given set. On the given set. So let us consider an example. Let us consider the set of lines L1, L2, etc. And also let us consider the relation perpendicular. So L1 is perpendicular to L2. That should be true. Definitely it implies L2 is perpendicular to L1. Therefore, what we can say is the relation perpendicular is symmetric. That relation is symmetric on the set of lines L. Let us consider another example. Let us consider the set of natural numbers. Let us consider the relation less than. Let us consider the relation less than. 1 less than 2 is true. 1 less than 2 is a true relation, but it does not imply 2 less than 1. Therefore, the relation less than is not symmetric on the set of natural numbers. The relation less than is not symmetric. Is not symmetric on the set of natural numbers. Let us consider another example. Let us consider the set of lines L1, L2, etc. And let us consider the relation parallel. So we know that L1 is parallel to L2. That means if we consider L1 is parallel to L2, it definitely implies L2 is parallel to L1. L1 parallel to L2 implies L2 parallel to L1. Therefore, what we can say is the relation parallel is symmetric on the lines, on the set of lines L. On the set of lines L. Next, we pass on to the another important relation, transitive relation. A relation R on a set A is called transitive if A1, A2 belongs to R and A2, A3 belongs to R implies that A1, A3 belongs to R. For all A1, A2, A3 should belong to A. That is A1, A2 belongs to R and A2, A3 belongs to R should imply A1, A3 belongs to R. The meaning of this is A1 is that A1 related to A2 should be true. Similarly, A2 related to A3 also should be true. If this both relations are true, that should imply that A1 related to A3 is true. First and foremost is these two conditions, that is A1 related to A2 and A2 related to A3, both should be true. Then we say that the relation R is transitive. The relation R is transitive. Let us consider an example. Let us consider the set of natural numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. We know that 1 is less than 2 and 2 is less than 3. This implies 1 is less than 3 is true. Therefore, what we can say, less than relation is transitive. Less than relation is transitive on the set of natural numbers. Let us consider another example. We consider the set of lines L, L1, L2, L3, etc. Let us consider the relation parallel. Let us consider the relation parallel. Let L1 be parallel to L2. L2 be parallel to L3. Definitely it implies L1 is parallel to L3. Therefore, the relation parallel. Therefore, the relation parallel is transitive. Therefore, the relation parallel is transitive on the set of lines L. See here, let the line L1 be parallel to L2 and the line L3 is parallel to L2. Therefore, definitely we can say that L1 is parallel to L3. So, we can say that the parallel relation is transitive, on the set of lines. Let us consider another example, the set of lines L1, L2, L3, etc. And let us consider the relation perpendicular. See, L1 perpendicular to L2 and L2 perpendicular to L3 does not imply L1 is perpendicular to L3. In fact, L1 is parallel to L3. See, let us consider a line L1 and which is perpendicular to the line L2, and that line is also perpendicular to L3, but L1 is not perpendicular to L3. Therefore, what we can say is that perpendicular relation is not transitive. Perpendicular relation is not transitive. In fact, it is parallel. It is not perpendicular. Therefore, the perpendicular relation on the set of lines L is not transitive. Next, pass on to the next relation, equivalence relation. A relation R on a set A is said to be an equivalence relation if R is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Let us consider an example. Let us consider the line L, set of lines L, L1, L2, L3, etc. And let us consider the relation parallel. We know that every line is parallel to itself. So L1 is parallel to L1. That implies that parallel relation on line L is reflexive. Next, we shall consider we shall verify the second relation. Suppose L1 is parallel to L2, then definitely we know that L2 is parallel to L1. This implies that parallel relation on the line L is symmetric. Suppose L1 is parallel to L2 and L2 is parallel to L3. That implies L1 is parallel to L3. Therefore, what we can say is the parallel relation is transitive. Hence, the relation parallel on the set of lines is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Therefore, R is an equivalence relation. Let us consider another example, the set of triangles T1, T2, T3, etc. and the relation we consider as similar. We know that every triangle is similar to itself. Therefore, R is reflexive. Next, T1 is similar to T2. Definitely, it implies T2 is similar to T1. Therefore, R is symmetric. Let us consider T1 similar to T2 and T2 similar to T3. Definitely, it implies T1 is similar to T3. Therefore, what we can say, the relation is transitive. Hence, we can say that R is an equivalence relation because the relation is similar is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Let us consider another example, L equals L1, L2, L3, etc. And let us consider the relation perpendicular. We know that line L1 cannot be perpendicular to the same line. Therefore, R is not reflexive on the set of lines L. If L1 is perpendicular to L2, implies L2 is perpendicular to L1. Definitely. Therefore, R is symmetric on the line L. So L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 is perpendicular to L3 does not imply L1 is perpendicular to L3. Therefore, R is not transitive. Hence R is neither reflexive nor transitive, but it is symmetric. Hence, it is not an equivalence relation. It is not an equivalence relation.